Dear learners and viewers, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mosammad Irene Sultana, lecturer, Department of English, Carmichael College, Rangpur. Today, I am going to discuss narration from English second paper. This discussion will help us to learn the general rules of narration and the narration of assertive and interrogative sentences. In English, we need to report messages, speeches, comments, requests, etc. of a person or persons to others. We may report the words of a speaker in two ways. Number one, we may quote his actual words. This is called direct speech. Number two, we may report what he said without quoting his exact words. This is called indirect or reported speech. For example, Shumona said, I am ill. Shumona said that she was ill. Here, Shumona's speech is reported in the form of a narrative. Features of direct speech / narration. The speech, which is under quotation marks or inverted commas in writing, is called direct speech, and the verb by which it is expressed is called reporting verb. Three features of direct speech / narration. Number one, in writing, the direct speech is put within inverted commas. Sharif will come to mark off the exact words of the speaker. Number two, a comma is used after reporting verb. Number three, the first letter of the direct speech is a capital letter. Now, look at the following sentence. Rumon said, I want the book. Here Rumon is speaker, said reporting verb, and I want the book is reported speech. It will be noticed that in changing a direct speech into an indirect, certain grammatical changes have been made. Number one, we use the linker that, whether, if, etc. before the reported speech or the indirect statement. Number two, we change the pronoun. Number three, we change the verb according to tense, such as Rumon said that he wanted the book. Here Rumon, reporter, said reporting verb, that linker, and he wanted the book is indirect speech. Here we use that as the linker. Pronoun I is changed into he, and the present form of the verb want is changed into the past form wanted. General rules for changing direct speech into indirect speech. Number one, we use linkers before the indirect speech. Number two, the pronouns are changed according to sense. For example, number one, direct. Selim said to his friend, you are ill. Indirect. Selim said to his friend that he was ill. Number two, direct. Selim said to me, you are ill. Indirect. Selim told me that I was ill. Number three, if the reporting verb is in past tense, we must make the following changes. Direct, present, indirect, past. Direct, present continuous, indirect, past continuous. Direct, past indefinite, indirect, past perfect. Direct, present perfect, indirect, past perfect. Direct, past perfect, indirect, past perfect. Direct, past continuous, indirect, past perfect continuous. Direct, future shall / will, indirect, future should / would. Narration of assertive sentences. He said, I do it. He said that he did it. He said, I am writing a letter. He said that he was writing a letter. He said, I wrote letters. He said that he had written letters. If the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, the tense of the verb of the direct speech is not changed at all. The farmer says, I am busy. The farmer says that he is busy. The farmer will say, I am busy. The farmer will say that he is busy. If the statement is a habitual truth or eternal truth, no change of tense is required. For example, Kamal said, I walk for an hour every morning. Kamal said that he walks for an hour every morning. The teacher said, the sun rises in the east. The teacher said that the sun rises in the east. Some words of time expression and place expression are changed if the reporting verb is in the past tense, such as now becomes then, ago will be before, today that day, tonight that night, tomorrow the next day, yesterday the previous day, last night the previous night, here, there, hence, thence, thus, that way, or so, this, that, these, those, and come becomes go. Students often change it into that in the indirect, but that is wrong. It remains unchanged. Direct. The boy said, I will do the work now. Indirect. The boy said that he would do the work then. Direct. He said, I am glad to be here this evening. He said that he was glad to be there that evening. Direct. He said, I shall go to Delhi tomorrow. Indirect. He said that he would go to Delhi the next day. Direct. He said, I have never seen anything like it. Indirect. He said that he had never seen anything like it. Normally, there are no changes in the verb forms of the modal auxiliaries like must, ought to, and should. Though should often becomes would, corresponding persons of the subject, and had to is often used in place of must. For example, she said, we ought to go. She said that they ought to go. She said, we must go. She said that they must go or had to go. Narration of interrogative sentences. Rules. Number 1. If the direct speech is in interrogative sentence, reporting verbs such as say, tell, etc. are changed into ask, inquire, etc. in the indirect speech, and the verb takes an object. Number 2. If the direct speech begins with some WH question word such as who, what, where, why, how, etc., the question word is retained in the indirect speech. Number 3. But if the direct speech does not begin with such question word, if or whether is used as the linker. Number 4. The order of words in the indirect speech is changed from the interrogative sentence to the assertive sentence, and the note of interrogation becomes full stop. Now we are going to discuss the narration of interrogative sentences beginning with auxiliary verbs. Questions beginning with do, does, did, is, am, are, etc. Do you know the way to the station? She said to Mahi. She asked Mahi if or whether he knew the way to the station. Does she require any help? The old man asked me. The old man asked me if she required any help. I said to the boy, "Did you go to school?" I asked or inquired of the boy if he had gone to school. "Is not poverty a curse?" my father said to me. My father asked me if poverty is not a curse. "Are you weeping?" He asked her. He asked her if she was weeping. Larsen said, "Mary, isn't the soup boiling yet?" Larsen asked Mary if the soup was not boiling by that time. My brother said to me, "Will you not go to the show?" My brother asked me if I would not go to the show. An interrogative sentence beginning with shall takes the form would in the past tense in the indirect speech, but should is retained when it implies a matter of duty. For example, I said to him, "Shall I reach the village before dawn?" I asked him if I would reach the village before dawn. Then the girl said, "Shall I go out for shopping?" The girl asked if she would go out for shopping. And Nikhil said to me, "Shall I wait for you for an hour?" Nikhil asked me if he should wait for me for an hour. The narration of interrogative sentence with a WH question is different from the narration of interrogative sentence with auxiliary verbs. Now, let us discuss the narration of interrogative sentence with WH questions. I said to the man, "Who are you?" I asked the man who he was. He said to me, "What are you doing?" He asked me what I was doing. "Where do you live?" asked the stranger. The stranger asked him where he lived. "Why are you weeping?" the swallow said to the prince. The swallow inquired of the prince why he was weeping. "When will you come back?" the prince said to the swallow. The prince asked the swallow when he would come back. "How did you do that?" they said Addison. They asked Addison how he had done that. He said to me, "Which book do you want?" He asked me which book I wanted. "Who was the first man to fly in the space?" the examiner asked the boy. The examiner asked the boy who was the first man to fly in the space.